Madam chose a historian to speak first, so you know how much time it takes. Now, there is no question that the Second Pan-African Congress achieved substantial outcome, and they were very specific: liberation of Africa, and all Africa got liberated until, of course, South Africa and others come later. Secondly, we achieved the creation of AOU, which now lead to AU, where we are right now. What we did not achieve, and where there was a demarcation, is we cut off from African American, and we cut off from Afro-Caribbean, and we cut off from Afro-Brazilian, and we cut off from Afro-Indians. Why am I saying this? When we were now, the speaker knows that, when we were now struggling for Kenya to play a role at the Security Council, we needed all our support. America is significantly impacted by African Americans. And you can see the kind of impact they have on Biden administration. And we hire people to lobby for us with Congress. Yet, if we had a strong relationship with African Americans, we will significantly influence what United States does. And United States is the most powerful country in the world. It has $24 trillion gross national product. China has $17 trillion. Russia has only $2 trillion gross national product. And Kenya, gross national product, is twice the size of North Korea. While North Korea is shooting missiles in the air, we're helping our people, and we can do better. So this is the place where we are, and this is what we need to do in order for us to become much more powerful.
At the 5th Pan-African Congress held in Manchester in October 1945. And he was with somebody else, Haile Selassie, from this part of the world. And across there was Kwame Nkrumah and others. And from across the Atlantic, we had George Padmore and we had W.E. Du Bois. And this, and Garvey's wife was also there, representing Marcus Garvey. It was a great moment because for the first time, we refocused our attention from the struggle against slavery in America, the conditions of the African Americans, now to the continent. That was a major shift. We focused on the continent. And we said, if the homeland is not free, the diaspora cannot be free. And therefore, that was a change of strategy which worked. It worked because that Congress also brought both the Francophonie and Anglophone Africa. Senghor, Leopold Sédar Senghor was there, among others, Modibo Keita, and so on. They all participated in it. And as a result, we became concrete in what we wanted to achieve as Africans. One, we need to consolidate ourselves as Africans. And ideologically, we will be guided by African nationalism. And the ultimate goal is continental unity. And because we were in a Cold War world, which was beginning to waver between capitalism and socialism, we decided to go for African socialism. That's why in the 60s, people confused African socialism and Leninist socialism or Marxism. These are two different animals. Ours was drawn from our communal backgrounds. And if you read Tom Boyer, Freedom and After, you can get his definition. You cannot be rich in Africa until your clan and your people are also rich. So your wealth is not just your wealth, where you go to parade to say I'm the richest man in Africa. your wealth is communal wealth because your relatives will come and depend on you. Who among us does not pay school fees or pay medical bills or pay any other bill for our relatives? Is there anybody? So that is the socialism they were talking about. And it is that socialism, it's that ideology that guided us in the struggle until 1994 when we defeated colonialism and defeated apartheid, which is racism in Southern Africa, both South Africa, Namibia, and Angola. And finally, after defeating colonialism on the continent, we were able to now think about the future. And immediately we embarked on the process of reforming the Organization of African Unity. Because that was a liberation outfit. We needed a developmental outfit. And that's where now we moved from political liberation to economic liberation. So we are now at the phase of economic liberation. We do not forget where we are coming from. That's why we need to retain the ideology of Pan-Africanism. But we must also know that we have changed. And therefore, what is guiding us is the African Agenda 2063, which is about making Africa great economically and politically, and positioning Africa in the 21st century. In fact, Mandela says the 21st century is a century for Africa. So African Renaissance is about our revival in terms of our culture, in terms of our politics, but most importantly, our economic liberation. Let's not lose that. We must be economically liberated from all the forces that make us unable to realize our economic goals. Foremost is poverty eradication. Mr. Speaker, you are here. You are seeking a position. If you don't eradicate poverty in Africa, you have failed as a Pan-Africanist. So poverty eradication is our foremost agenda.